time for 28mm World War II action. Will you recreate history or reshape it your way? On the Bolt Action Hub at beastsofwar.com. Keep your blaster handy, the West is a dangerous place. Fight to survive as men turn to monsters and the dead rise. On the Wild West Exodus Hub at beastsofwar.com.
So, hi guys, welcome to What's in the Box. I'm joined by Lukasz from Microworks Studio, and
Hello.
we're having a look at Wolsung, the Gigantic Golem.
Yep, the Gigantic Golem.
This is a monster kit, guys. I've been waiting to get my hands on this one, and I'm really happy to have you in the studio with me to actually take me through some of the rules of this monster.
Yes, the rules are...
I'm guessing they're
another
ridiculous. Well, first up, let's have a look at him when he's painted under the close camera. The artwork on the box of the Paint It Mini, absolutely lovely, but...
My job.
Not mine at all. But that's not why we're here. We're here to see the actual components of this beastie. So, if we get them open, well packed. Right, so Lukasz, if you start pulling parts out, and if you just leave them sitting along here for me, I will start showing them off under close camera. So, first up, we're getting a really nice scenic base, which is, of course, in resin. So you're getting some nice heavy-duty iron plates on this. We then have the main body of our Gigantic Golem. Now, he's got a very, very classic sort of submariner feel to him, Lukasz. What were you guys thinking when you were designing him?
Bigger is better.
Bigger is better, of course. Well, we have what I think is one of the weapons here. Is this one of his guns?
No, this is the part that comes on his back.
Right.
So this is just
So if I bring this in, I see it now.
a
So
turbine,
this
turbine of sorts.
plugs into here. Okay, cool. I assume, is this
Yeah,
a
chimney
smokestack?
stack, yes.
Okay. Some really nice detail on this for such a big mini. So after the chimney stack, we get onto his pelvis, where his legs are going to attach to.
Yep.
We then have, okay, this has to be a gun, I'm going to guess?
Yeah, this is a cannon.
I'm
High
guessing-
velocity piercing shell cannon.
Ah, nice.
We had a help with designing the names of different systems from Rob Alderman, actually. So there is some Britishness into the names, actually.
Ah, very nice. Right, so we have, next up, two piston sections. Are these for his arms or his legs?
Those are his legs.
These are parts of his legs.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or are they? No, those are his arms. Yep.
Okay,
Slightly
so
different.
I assume these are parts of arms, legs, or...
Arms. Yep.
Okay, parts of his arms. So again,
So-
really nice detail. I love the feel of these big, meaty cogs. They're going to take washes and stuff really nicely
Yep.
once you get some metallics down on them. Next up, we have
four arms.
forearms. Aha, lovely. So here is forearms, and you've got some really nice detail on this one here. It's got sort of a, I don't know, is it an Italian sort of Renaissance era sort of filigree we're seeing here?
I think that you can say that.
Okay, fair enough. The other side's a little more British with big strapping
Yeah.
around it to hold it all in place. We then have,
His
so I'm
thighs.
guessing these are his upper legs,
Yes,
which are
upper
gonna
legs.
plug into that torso that we saw earlier. We then have, now these are lovely. Again, more of that lovely filigree work. Anybody who likes the freehand work is also going to have nice little spots in and around the legs here to actually really go to town on this, which is very nice. We've then got two big stumpy feet, which are quite brutal looking. I am liking the mix of brutal functionality and sort of high Renaissance design that we're seeing in this miniature.
Renaissance may be taking it a little bit too much into
Oh,
the
too
past.
forward?
Yeah,
Or
too
too
much
far
into
back?
the past. Yes.
Ah, I see.
Yeah.
Okay.
Renaissance was quite before the steampunk and 19th century.
Fair enough. Well, you see, this is me coming from video gaming going, that feels a little bit Assassin's Creed to me.
Yeah, Assassin's Creed is a good reference because Wolsung actually takes all manner of pulp fiction, mashes it up and takes it. So whenever you find something cool in a video game or in a movie, you can be certain that it finds its place in Wolsung.
Nice. Very nice. Okay, what's our next component?
The head.
Ah, the head. So, the brain of our monstrous machine. It's very, very nice. I love the fact that you've got this big frontal light on here. And again, it's just that classic design that you expect to see from a steampunk robot.
And you have a choice of hands.
Oh, lovely. So we've got one which is pointing. Nice big meaty closed fist.
Yeah, left and right.
Yep. We then have an open hand, which I really like. I would maybe fill this. You see this ball piece we have here?
Ah.
I know it's meant to go onto a chain, but I might actually have it held in the hand.
Yeah, that's neat. One of these, that's neat.
Which could
That's
be quite cool.
You could even make it like a far-seeing ball or something.
Oh, a fortune-telling ball.
Maybe.
Steampunk fortune tellers.
I used one
have
of.
you seen a steampunk fortune teller just yet?
Not yet. Not yet. Yes,
Okay.
I used one of those balls on as a conversion on one of the gigantic golems I built as his head.
Oh, I see. Very clever.
Then we have a total.
We have another hand, but we have one more, which is another of the closed fists, which is very nice. So if I move these out of the way, we then have this, which is a very, very spiky sort of arrangement of a hand. So you've got these three components, which become fingers, I assume.
Yes.
And this is the mount for them, which goes onto the forearm.
Yep.
So next up, we have a Gattling gun of some sort.
Two weapon systems. One is a multi-fire weapon, and the other is basically a beam projector. Okay. Then you have the mount for the ball.
So this is the mount for that big wrecking ball that we've seen. So I assume we have this, and then we have the chain which attaches to it.
You mount this in the place of one of the hands.
Yeah.
This you bend in hot water to the shape you want.
So there's a little bit of playing with that. That's something I've not actually tried before.
It's very easy. It's very easy with resin, as you can see on this instruction.
All right, so we actually have a nice little instruction manual, and you can see
the chain is
nice bend in it.
bent slightly, so it's very easy. You just put a mug of hot water and put the chain into it for like 30 seconds. And then you put it out, bend it to shape, just hold it for a moment, and it stays in this shape.
Oh, brilliant. I may give this a try at some point, guys. We'll see what happens. But, oh, nice. I like the fact that you've got some good 3D instructions on this.
Yeah. At last. Yeah, that's our first foray into good instructions. We still don't have the parts numbered, but they are pretty easy
they're
to...
pretty self-explanatory, you know, as to where you're trying to find them. And I see what you've got here. Alternate gear, use hot water to bend. So it does tell you on the instructions, guys, if you did pick this up without having watched this, going, now how do I do this?
Yeah.
Okay, so, my favorite weapon of all. Now, as your Gigantic Golem wanders around the world of Leoness, he's bound to pick up a few bits and pieces along the way. And if he's coming up short for a weapon someday, he might grab one of these, which is one of the street lamps from the streets.
Yes.
So you've got the main pole here, and the actual top of it here with the light.
Yes.
Now, I am noticing that the hands we have actually don't have a hole in them. So
yes,
what way are we best doing this? Are we best trimming this to size or boring a hole through the hand?
Well, the best way is to bore a hole through the hand. It's a 3mm drill bit, fits perfectly.
Okay.
Then you glue the top part to the top of the lantern pole. It has a small recession here, and then you just don't trim this excess bit all the way.
So
just
if I quickly show this off, what you might consider as just a bit to be cut off, you should leave on a little bit of it, because in here you can see there's a little dent for it. So actually that'll help you line it up.
Yes, or you can just put it on the base of the model as lantern pole or anywhere else in your city.
Of course.
Then you have this little bit that is attached on one of the shoulders.
Oh, okay. So if I bring this up on the camera,
somewhere here.
So this loads onto the camera, or onto the shoulder, and then I'm guessing the rockets actually go onto that.
Yes.
So you could have a multi-fire missile system built into your Gigantic Golem.
You can add as many of them as you like to the Golem. The system just uses rockets, so you can have them modeled in a shooting...
well, it depends on how creative you want to get, guys. Right, I want to see this big guy built, right? So we're going to go away, we'll take a quick break, tell you about some hubs, and when we come back, we'll hopefully have the Gigantic Golem perfectly built.
Magic.
Humanity has been driven from Earth, but now it's time to take it back. Join the Reconquest and fight the Scourge on the Drop Zone Commander Hub at beastsofwar.com. Then Enter into the dangerous dungeons of myth as a mighty hero and stand against the darkness. Visit the Myth Hub on beastsofwar.com and begin your story.
Okay guys, we're back. We've been away. Lukasz, you've built the golem.
Yes.
He's fantastic. He's ginormous. Let me quickly bring him under close camera here. So, he looks monstrous, and you've given him my favourite weapon.
Yeah, the lantern pole.
Very nice. You've also loaded him up with the missiles across the shoulder, as you said. We've got the multiple fire weapon here, and I believe this is some form of beam weapon here, yeah?
Yes, yes.
He has a really, really nice kit once he's put together. And if we actually go a little closer, we'll get a little look at the face of this guy. I'm very impressed with how he turned out. Overall, he feels like a proper giant steampunk robot. So, the one other thing we have to talk about is the rules for this guy, because I've been curious about it since I saw it turn up online. So, how does this guy work in the game? What's different about him compared to some of the regular miniatures we would see?
You can use it in three different ways. You can use it in your inventor's club as part of the club, so you can just add it to your existing heroes and henchmen and have it function as sort of hero/henchman. Then you can just play it as it is and controlling it completely. Then you just forgo the other inventor's club, so you just basically don't choose a club, you just play the golem.
Okay, so hang on, you can actually have a game where you're just setting down the golem and saying, right, come and have a go?
Yep.
Okay, now that I like. What else can we do?
Then the last way is to play against the golem. So you can have basically a game where you play against the game, either by yourself or with your friends. So you can have a cooperative gaming experience against the Gigantic Golem. That's why he has so many cards.
Yeah, he does have quite a few. Now, I'm not sure if these will be perfectly in focus, guys, but I will try and show them to you. So these, what are these cards?
These cards are basically your normal cards for the character cards as you normally would get for Wolsung Heroes and Henchmen. Some of them have card symbol and cost funds on them. These are the heroic systems. And some of them don't. These are the support systems. The way it works is that you have one model that you need to buy the Gigantic Golem hull for. This is a henchman system for 1 point. So this is just gives you a stat line. And then you put inside of it many different other systems.
Yeah, so I'm seeing tons upon tons of upgrades here, guys. It's really cool.
Yeah. This is basically whenever you buy a starter set for Wolsung, you get 2 heroes and like 3 to 4 henchmen. This is the entire club. So this is like 4 starter sets in one set. So you get 8 hero cards and a number of support systems.
Okay, so basically I could run this guy and have a fair fight against someone's entire club.
Yeah.
So the entire Ashen Oak club have came out to take down this thing. Yes. Because it's big and shiny, and Archibald Armstrong wants its head on his mantelpiece.
Yes. This head would look splendid on the mantelpiece, definitely. So how do you come around building and playing with this golem? You agree with your opponent on a number of heroes you will play. So this is the size of the game. So let's say standard size of the game is 3 or 4 heroes.
Yep.
So let's say we agree on 3 heroes games.
Okay.
So then you, out of the system cards, you pick 3 heroic systems cards. Heroic systems.
If I grab these, and I will show them off.
These are just exemplary heroic system cards. They have a number of wounds. Basically, they are as tough as a hero human basically would be. Yeah. They have a bit of armor. As you can notice, they don't have a full stat line.
Yeah, because I'm seeing on this one there's no movement, but it does have actions. Yes. There's no fight or strength, but it does have +1 to guns.
Yes, that's because you use the heroic, Gigantic Golem
base
hull.
chassis, I'm guessing.
So there is room for different chassis later. So they may have different basic stat lines, and then you install the systems into the chassis. Okay. Now the way it works is that every heroic system has access to all the support systems.
Oh, right.
So when you look at let's say this weapon system, This is the multiple shot rifle, the
one that we have on his arm.
Great
so if
battle
I bring
rifle.
him into
Yep.
focus here. This
This
thing
is
this thing.
when you compare it to a normal henchman. You would quickly consider this card just overpriced because it has a cost of 3. So
Yeah.
normally you would get a security golem for it. It has 2 actions. Normally security golem has 2 actions.
Yeah.
Strength of 8, 8 armor,
Yeah,
5 wounds.
big massive beat stick.
Yes. And this one only has 1 action and it can only shoot.
Yeah, but I'm guessing that every time I activate
If you
my
have
heroic system,
3
I can
heroic
use
systems
this.
installed, then you can shoot actually 7 times with this weapon. And you can move in between because you can have other systems installed that may move, or just heroic systems may move.
Yeah.
So you may change your position between the shots.
Now, I'm saying he has armor instead of wounds. How does that change compared
It has
to normal
both
miniature?
armor and wounds. The heroic systems have high amount of wounds and low armor, so they are more like human models. And the support systems are more like golems, so they have lower wounds and higher armor. That means that whenever you fight this golem, you have to choose the right weapon to target the right system, because you don't target just the golem. Whenever you shoot at him, you choose one of the systems installed to target.
I see, I see. So if I really don't like this particular weapon, I can focus on it to try and get rid of it.
You can destroy
But
it.
that's ignoring everything else the golem has.
Yes.
It's interesting, guys, because normally your forces are so spread out amongst Wolsung, you know, jumping and running around terrain. You know, your targets are quite limited. With him being such a big central focus, this is a nice way to actually say, you know what, he's big and he's nasty and he's doing a lot. I don't like that in particular. I'm going to try and get that first, or you can maybe try and spread your damage out to take out maybe 2 systems at the same time.
Yes.
But it's always a risk. So the tactics for this are going to be interesting once we get them on the tabletop. Okay, now I'm seeing one other set of cards. I assume these Rampage cards are for whenever you're playing the solo missions.
Yes, exactly. Now, these are not the cards that you will actually solely use for this system. They are duplicated on the other side of the normal character cards.
Ah, I see.
Yeah, so this oversized Rampage deck forms the activation deck for this golem. So when you have a golem that you want to play against, you put all those on the Rampage. You put all the systems installed into the Rampage deck.
Okay.
You put it on the table, and whenever a model activates, you first draw a Rampage card. So if you have a one-player game, you just reveal 1 card, and this system will activate after you finish the activation.
I see.
When you have more players, like let's say 2 or 3 players,
Yeah.
then before every player activates a model, you reveal the top card from the Rampage deck,
see.
and you form a sequence of activations. So this is the program for this turn.
Right, so basically this is the brain of your giant golem during your games of Wolsung. I like this idea. I like this idea a lot. We will have to get this guy down on the tabletop because you're across for a visit. We are doing some filming for Wolsung, and I do want to get at least 1 matchup against this big boy here. Maybe even more. We'll see what happens. Right, look, Ash, I tell you what, we have more cool stuff to unbox while you're here. We're going to move on to the next video. Guys, hopefully you enjoyed that. Drop us a comment below. Tell us what you think of the Gigantic Golem and how you would play him in your games of Wolsung. We'll see you in the next video. Bye.
Fight for the Iron Kingdoms as a warcaster. Take control of the mighty jacks, arcane devices, and dark sorceries to bring the fight to the War Machine Hub on beastsofwar.com. Become a general of mighty armies at the Kings of War Hub. Take command of elves, dwarves, and orcs in this game of masked fantasy combat on beastsofwar.com.